Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, in my last video, I made two experimental builds that focused on the Zero Sum Discharge play style of switch axe, and they also had Frostcraft in their builds. It was basically just to see how well Frostcraft would do with that kind of play style, and it actually turned out pretty well. So, basically, in this video, I'm going to be showing you a more meta tier version of that playstyle, so a meta build for the Zero Sum Discharge spam playstyle. And yeah, basically just explore this with meta in mind. So getting into the build, we have, of course, a ton of crit. We are using Affinity with this one as well, of course. Pretty much all of the Fatalis ones kind of require this. You can ditch Affinity here and go attack at the cost of having 100% crit until later on, but it's just better to have Affinity, honestly, because you get defense, and if you didn't know, the defense augment actually acts as a mini Divine Blessing proc, a separate Divine Blessing proc. Basically it's like Defender High, the food buff, and you know, if you have Defender High, for example, and Divine Blessing and Defense Augment, you've basically got three different versions of Divine Blessing all at once. So that's always nice. And then we have Health Regen, of course, have to have that. So here's the build. Pretty straightforward. Most of it is crit. We have crit I7, of course, because Fatalis has negative crit, so we need as much of that as possible. We have Agitator 7 for attack, pretty much, and also Affinity if you want. Personally, I prefer not to have to rely on Agitator for Affinity, and I mostly just have Maximum Might do that for me, so I have 100% crit pretty much permanently. You can swap out Maximum Might if you want, and just have Agitator do the rest of the work for you. A lot of people prefer to do that. I prefer to do it the other way, and have Maximum Might do the job, and just use Agitator for attack, pretty much. But it's completely up to you. You can do what you want with that, and yeah, that's that. We have crit boost and weakness exploit. This gets us to 100% and obviously increases our crits by 40%, like the damage, so that's a no-brainer. We have power prolonger actually slotted in. I am not using the Electron gloves. The reason why is because having the Rhyme Guard boots, the Gamma boots for peak performance 3, is actually better slot-wise and perk-wise in the long run, because the Electron gloves have worse slots. They do have attack in there, so I could take attack out, but the slots were just so bad in comparison, and the Fatalis boots have no useful perks for this build, so even though they have good slots, well, the slots match this actually, the boots, but they have no good perks. And then the Electron gloves have much worse slots than this, so it's just worse overall. So yeah, that's why I went with what we've got here. So then we also have attack, as I just mentioned, of course. That's to get 5% crit, and also just to increase our damage, because that's what we want to be doing. And then we have Handicraft, because the Fatalis weapons have really low Handicraft. We do have True Razor Sharp, which is great, but it's just more for the long run. You could actually swap out the Handicraft if you wanted to, if you don't mind possibly getting into white sharpness and using a bit of white sharpness. But if you want to guarantee that you'll never hit white sharpness, then 2 Handicraft is good enough for the job. And then in my mantles, I decided, since I wanted to make use of Divine Blessing in some way, Divine Blessing 5, just to make myself super tanky, I decided to put that in the Rocksteady mantle, since obviously, you know, you're not actually going to be getting hit in Temporal, so there's no point in putting it in there, since it wouldn't actually do anything while I've got the mantle on. So yeah, I decided to make it easier to like proc Divine Blessing in here, and just have it there at 60%, right? It's just super nice. And then obviously I went attack down here for more attack, and yeah, it's pretty solid. Does a lot of damage. So we're going to show you that damage right now. So we'll start off with the unbuffed version, since that's a pretty fair test. Also untenderized and then tenderized. So let's start this off. I'll just wait until total damage runs out. we get an accurate representation. Okay, here we go. 2,000 damage. Pretty nice. Let's put on our mantle now, that increases attack. And we'll go for that. See, increased it by a little bit. Now we've got 2,200. Which is very nice. And now I'm gonna, what am I doing? Now I'm gonna tenderize this. This will be with attack boost 6, not attack boost 4. Which is okay. Right, so let's see this now. See, increase my damage by a good chunk now. 2,276. That was about the same as untenderized. And now I'm gonna buff super hard. If you actually really care about damage, you'll use all these in a hunt anyway. So this is the more accurate representation of damage, since you will be using these. If you actually, you know, care about doing a lot of damage. There we go. There's fat damage now. 2,500. That's what you want to see. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. Not really much else to say about it. I guess now I'll just show it off in a hunt. Probably fight an Elder, since this build is extremely broken. But let me know what you think. Let me know how it can be improved. Obviously, the biggest improvement would be removing Maximum Might and relying on Agitator. You could actually also remove one Handicraft and go Coalescence for more attack. That's completely up to you. It is a viable option. So let me know what you think of that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Adios.